Aries. It is the end of February, and I'm trying to do a reading for you for March 2020, but either my dog or one of the other dogs that lives here just started barking very loudly, and I don't know if that's going to work. So hopefully we can get through the reading. But the Seven of Swords obviously wanted to fly out there, which gives me the feeling of maybe you're trying to get away with something, or somebody around you is trying to get away with something. It's that sneaky energy of it's kind of like a have your cake and eat it too kind of attempt, where you're just either you or the person represented by this card is obviously they're running away with five swords, kind of looking over their shoulder like, am I getting away with this? Is this going to work for me? And it's just a deceptive, sneaky kind of energy. It's not good. It's not good if it's coming from you. It's not good if it's coming from somebody around you. Actually, this is one of the cards I pulled in the last set that I pulled right before I had to stop filming because of the dogs. So at the bottom of the deck here, we've got Five of Wands. And let me see if I can get that a little more focused. I mean, it's not going to be that good, period, I don't think. But it works. You can see the cards well enough. So we've got, Five of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. We've got the Lovers, the Ten of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. And what this is telling me is that you either have a choice to make, or you have a connection in your life that is really heavy and burdensome. And maybe that's what this Seven of Swords is about as well, where it's something that's stealing your energy. Or one of you in this connection, if it's a connection, it is somebody that's being deceptive, maybe trying to get away with something behind your back, or you're trying to get away with something behind somebody else's back. One of you is not being honest in your dealings. You're trying to get more than you're giving. And the other person here doesn't really... They don't see what's going on, and also they're kind of feel bound to the situation. Like maybe they even suspect that something is happening, but because they have no proof, they don't feel like they're in a place to even act on what it is that they suspect is going on. Like they have a feeling, but they have no tangible evidence, so they just feel bound. They're trapped in anxiety, and they're blind to the reality of the situation. Interesting. So to me, like, the Devil and the Lovers are almost opposite energies, or they reflect almost an opposite scene, where this connection is a divinely inspired and blessed connection, typically, The devil is a connection that is made out of addiction and codependence. And I feel like the magician is over here saying, he's pointing up and down. Also, like the devil is here. And I feel like he's saying you have these two options between the healthy relationship and the codependent relationship. And obviously the end result, if you were to take the healthy path, it leads to this Ten of Cups scenario, which is, the happily ever after. They've got the happy family here. It's definitely more a vibe of trust and love and support, And if you went with this side, the card supporting that is that Eight of Swords. And that's the feeling of being bound, ultimately not being supported, being kind of isolated, but bound to the connection nonetheless, even though it's not a healthy connection, even though it's not any kind of support that you'd want. You have the option to choose between those two things. Got quite a bit of major arcana. I was about to say that before. I don't even know if the sun was quite flipped over when I started to say that, but I was already saying that, and then the sun is more. So that is half of the cards visible to us now are major arcana cards. And it ends powerfully here with the King of Cups, Death, and the Sun. So I feel like, again, the magician offers you between these choices. It's saying you have the choice between the healthy, supportive relationship and the destructive, isolating, codependent relationship. And it looks like you're choosing the former here, because death is suggesting that this situation is transforming into, obviously the King of Cups is somebody who emotionally, when it comes to relationships, is very mature and makes healthy decisions where he's not controlled by his emotions, but he's deeply in touch with them. He is aware of them, he is informed by them, but he's not controlled by them, and he ultimately is able to transform the situation that you face if that choice is made, because at the heart of it is this choice between the two things. At the heart of all of this is the magician saying, yeah, you can have this or you can have this. And ultimately, I think that this is telling me that your mature side is capable of winning out if you make that choice. And the result of that is joy is just always the word that comes to mind when the sun appears. Like, it's such a card of joy, fulfillment, happiness, satisfaction, and again, the love that also, now that he's on the table, and with the assumption that the choice is not to remain in the devil, codependent, unhealthy, addicted energy, it's like he's bypassing that now. He's connecting the lovers down to the sun. He's saying, why don't we take all of this side? Because he's the dividing line, right? Why don't we take all of this side? And why don't we leave this? Why don't we leave the struggle? Why don't we leave the feeling of being trapped why don't we leave the feeling of being too scared to say, I don't really need this. And we've all, I think we've all probably been there before. We're in this situation and we're just too scared to say, I don't really need this. You know on some level that you don't really need it, but you're scared to own your strength. For whatever reason, you're scared to say, what would I do if I took this weight from around my neck, which is what they're dealing with here. And once you do that, that's when you end up with this satisfactory ending. That's what you're looking for, and that's what I hope you get. And I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope that resonates with you, Aries, because it's a good reading. And please check the description box if you want to get in touch for a personal reading. And I hope to see you again. Take care, Aries.